Lekker. So we are live again, and I'm so excited to chat to Jandre today. And I'm actually so excited because it's summer. so yes, it's summer is here, and it's that feeling of excitement. And I want to talk to you, Jandre, today about business owners and how they can get ready for this time of the year, that excitement. It's the time people want to spend money. So guys, if you are watching, please go over in the comments and tell us where you're watching from, and welcome to the live, Jandre. So yeah, how are you?
I'm so lekker. Thank you for asking. Yeah, look, I think in essence, there's a lot to discuss. Q4 is around the corner. Every year it's the same thing, and it's funny. Like the more you stand shouting at the rooftops, trying to get people to wake up that Q4 is the biggest opportunity to actually generate revenue and grow your business and really do well for yourself, to set yourself up for a really good Q1 for obviously the next year. The more people just seem to think that you're speaking bullshit. And I think if you want to objectify it a little bit, then I think about 70%, 60% of a business's revenue, online specifically, happens in the last quarter of the year. So that if that doesn't put things in perspective for you, then I don't know what will. So it's time to make this year your best year ever. You've got really 30 days to get things ready for Q4, but most of the revenue will happen obviously through November and December, depending on the type of business that you have. So yeah, we can chat about how to get ready, and I look forward to it, man.
Wow. So you say 60% of the revenue comes in at Q4.
Yeah,
That's
so
crazy,
depending
man.
on what case study you're going to read, obviously it can vary from 55 to 70. But I think to be safe, we've seen a lot of our clients 60% can be generated in the last quarter. Yeah, and if you have
Wow.
to break that last quarter down, 80% is generated between in I would say 80% is generated in November and December. And if you break that down, probably 60% of those last 2 months, if not 70%, is basically in Black Friday or November month.
Oh, yeah, Black Friday. It's the 29th, right? Round about
Uh,
there,
I can tell
November.
you now in a second, it's the
Yeah.
last Friday of the month. I think it's around the 29th. The reason that's also good is because people would have been paid. So people get paid on the
Mm.
25th, which is a Monday. So that's going to be exciting. And look, the thing is, when Black Friday is right before payday, or right after payday, then it's finding that sweet spot. And I think if you look at the actual calendar, the 25th is a Monday. People are going to get paid. I think brands are going to have to be strategic on who grabs their money first, because you're going to have to wait 4 days to start your Black Friday campaign on the Black Friday. I think considering that people got paid on the 25th, some brands are probably going to do their Black Friday deals already from the 26th to the 27th,
Mm.
before the actual Friday. We've seen more and more brands are actually doing it the whole month, from the 1st of November. So it depends on what strategy you want to play. Usually what I'd suggest is that you do something exciting for the whole month, but then on Black Friday up until Cyber Monday, you do really something exceptional. So yeah, it's going to be interesting because the payday is on the 25th, and then you still got 4 or 5 days before the actual Black Friday. And what people don't understand about Black Friday is that you're competing with everybody. This is the time of the year when you're competing with every single business. This is if you are selling a nutrition product, you're not just competing with other nutrition brands anymore. You're now competing with Apple. You're competing with Samsung. You're competing with every single brand that's advertising on Facebook. Because the reason I say that is because, in essence, all of those brands are going to try and grab money out of people's wallets. So whoever gets the money first is going to win. So it's really
Wow.
understanding that when people get paid, it's really your responsibility as a business to maximize your advertising as quickly as possible in order to take that money. Because come Black Friday, if they don't have money, they can't take your deal. So if you've got 60% off or 50% off or 40, whatever it's going to be, if people don't have money, they can't buy it. And what's going to happen is the brands who are going to put strategic offers in front of people after payday in that week, building up to Black Friday, those are most likely the ones who's going to win. Because this is, like I said, this is the time of the year when you're competing with every single other business, because it's all about who gets the money first during this time of the year.
So, guys, if you're just tuning in, I see many of you of my members are tuning in now. Go over to the comments and say hi. Tell us where you are watching from, and remember to ask your questions. So, we're speaking about the excitement that summer brings. Like it literally like lights up my face just to think about the fact that it's summer. I'm going to tell you something now. And we spoke about the fact that about 60% of sales happens in Q4, which is good news for you if you haven't hit those targets yet. And we spoke about the fact that Black Friday is almost around the corner. It's end of November, and how we should think about it. And very interesting what you are saying. About the fact that you are not competing only against other people in your industry, but you are competing to everyone because everything is on sale. And yeah, that's very, very interesting. I see Michelle is saying hello from Stellies. So Jandre, yesterday we did a one of the salons here. I also want to talk to you about lots of things, like getting more sales for people like local businesses. We spoke a little bit about online, but anyway, I just quickly want to share this with you. So I am a brand ambassador for one of the salons in Somerset West. And yesterday we wanted to do something interesting and different, So we didn't want to to announce our collaboration and a little competition with that, a giveaway. So we didn't want to do like inside of a salon because that's boring, So we we went to a swimming pool and we did a reel where we jumped in and do the whole reverse thing, jumped in and got out, just for that, that fun and excitement for summer. So yeah, that's what we did yesterday. Jumped
Nice.
in a
Seems
swimming
like a good
pool.
day at the office.
Yeah. It was so much fun. But anyway, guys, if you are watching, please go over to the comments, say hi to Jandre and tell us where you're watching from. Also ask your questions. So we're talking about how to maximize your sales in Q4. And Jandre started off saying that every year it's the same. And every year, the more you tell people, get ready, it is time. People want to spend their money. We can maybe talk about that. Why is that? But people want to spend their money. They're literally asking businesses out there to present themselves in a way that they can spend their money with them. They just want to get rid of that money at the end of the year. I don't know why that is, but it is our job as businesses to tell people, make it nice for them to spend their money with you. That's why we did this reel, just to show people it's fun, to be top of mind, to give them a laugh. People want to spend their money. Make sure that they spend it with you. So let's quickly talk about something like a beauty salon, since I am the ambassador now. So what would you say? Just very easy, simple tips for them to get more bookings, more sales, things that
Yeah,
like
so
yeah,
I
you must
understand.
just do
Yeah,
it.
no, cool. I understand the question. I think keep in mind we also own two of our own branches. So it's a company called Cure Aesthetics, and we have a branch in Pretoria, and we have a branch in Johannesburg, and we own 49% of that business. And I think the simplest thing to do is to start running Facebook ads. It's really getting in front of people, targeting the people in your area, and putting an offer in front of them. Then the offer can be up. It's limited to your own imagination. I like to use that phrase because people say, "Oh, I don't know what to do." Well, it's limited to your own imagination. You need to start doing some research on what people want, and you need to look at your own product margins and understand how you can structure something that is valuable to the client, sexy and attractive, but also profitable. Because when people go, "Oh, I can't, my margins are thin," yeah, it's only because you're not creative enough with the back end in order to make that profitable for yourself. And I think a lot of business owners also want to make money on the first session. The thing about a beauty clinic is it's repeat customers, lifetime value. That's really where the profit lies. You rarely going to make profit on the first encounter, but it's about putting an offer in the market that people would want to experiment with and then go, "Oh, you know what? I really had a good time. and I'm going to come back. If it's laser treatment, then you have to come back for 7-8 sessions, if not more. If it's nails, then obviously you found a new person that you can go to every single month to get it done. If it's a hair salon, same thing. The thing about a hair salon, for example, is that there's a lot of trust attached to it. So people might be happy with whomever they're doing their hair with. So you're going to have to put a really sexy offer in the market that's going to make someone want to give you a chance, and then you're going to build a loyalty and trust under that customer so they can come back for years. We see the lifetime value of these clients, really last for years and years and years. So it depends on the type of beauty business it is. Let's hypothetically say it's a laser clinic of sorts. Now the question is, what can you do in order to get people's attention? On Black Friday, you can potentially give a discount. Not everybody is keen on discounts because some people have more of a premium look and feel, and they go, well, we don't want to be associated with discounts. I completely get that. But you need to understand, like in Black Friday, it's whomever's going to have the sexiest offer is going to win. So if you can't discount, then it's a matter of what can you give away along with the actual service that would still be valuable. So if you can't discount your laser treatment for some reason, then maybe you can do a laser treatment, but give them a free product in terms of cream. So give them a free cream that they can use after the laser treatment. Can you give them some form of, like, we used to own a very small clinic in Alberton, just facials and massages. And we used to do a facial, but then we give you free masks. So and that worked really well. So you come in for a facial, you pay full price, but then you get about a week or two supply of masks that you can put on your face in the evenings or whatever. So it's really understanding that it's using your imagination in order to put stuff together that the audience is going to want to use and enjoy, and they're going to find it valuable, but that is still profitable for you. That's really the bottom line. And if you're struggling to do that, then you need to do a bit more research, and you need to read a few books, and you need to speak to a few consultants, and you need to figure out how to connect those dots for yourself, really.
So, Cecilia, I think this actually answered your questions as well, because you've got Paws and Paps Daycare. So that's also a local business. So the first thing that we spoke about is running ads. And you can run ads. So we are currently running ads for one of my students for like 20 Rand a day. And it's bringing in so much new orders. So she sells frozen food that you just heat up. And literally 20 Rand a day, because I think a lot of the times when you say Facebook ads, people are like, what is that? And for her, we're actually running ads to WhatsApp. It is a little bit of, she has to answer the WhatsApps, but that is the way she wants to do it because she likes that personal touch. So the other option, do you guys run ads to like a landing page or a lead form, or what kind of ads? So Cecilia, that would be the first thing, Facebook ads, right?
Yeah, I think definitely so. I think it's lead forms should be good enough to get a start on it. I mean, landing pages, there's a bit of complexity around it. You need a pixel to track the audience and the cost per lead and all that kind of stuff. So I think lead forms is a great way. Just make sure that you ask a few questions in that lead form to better qualify people for yourself. And then you're going to have someone reply to those messages as quickly as possible as they come in, because the moment you let it sit there for a few hours, if not a day, then you actually making life harder for yourself, because those people most likely are not interested anymore, or they just kind of like forgot that they actually inquired. So by the time you phone them, they've completely kind of like forgot about all the context. So I can also, just from a Black Friday perspective, for someone like yourself, a lot of people are going away. So daycare and a hotel, right? So a lot of people are going away. So now would be the best time to run those ads and say, hey, are you going away this holiday? Check in your pups at our daycare. And if you book any time between, let's say, the Friday and the Monday, which is Black Friday and Cyber Monday, we'll give you 2 extra days for free. So that's literally all you say. Like, you don't have to put a price attached to it. You can just say, book between these times for a week, and we'll give you 2 days free or 3 days free or whatever you want to do. That's if you don't want to go the discount route. But then alternatively, the easiest thing to say is like, hey, we got 30% off on our daycare. This holiday, if you want to check in your pups if you're going away. So I think that's really just a good way to approach it. But again, that's just a perspective. It's not advice. Please don't see it as advice. But I mean, use it and use it and contextualize it to your business and play around with it. And then the most important thing is test. You're going to have to run these ads and test and see what works. There's no fixed in no specific set way that is
Mm.
going to have the money pour into your bank account. Like, you're going to have to play around a little bit and contextualize it for yourself and your audience and your area as well.
So Cecilia is saying they are actually doing paid ads. So I want to get back to Black Friday just now. I just quickly want to say something on this. So Cecilia, just out of interest, okay, so she's asking what's WhatsApp ad. So WhatsApp ad is also just a paid ad, but it just takes people to WhatsApp you if they are interested. So do you have a offer? Because I think this is a very big misconception that people have, or something they don't really understand, is that you have to run an ad to an offer. You can't just say, we are whatever. You got to have something. And what I like about what you said, Jandre, is your offer has to be sexy. So how can I make it sexy? And I'm thinking in your case, like what is it, the 2 extra days? But what about you have something like a free toy for your pet, it's something you can sort of make yourself, or whatever. I'm just thinking, because that's cute, it's like cute. Oh, I'm gonna get a free toy, and then when the puppy comes back, it comes back with a free toy. It can be something that doesn't cost you money, but it sort of plays on that love of the owner for their pups. So it's about thinking, how can I make this cute? How can I make this sexy, this offer? Because so basically an offer doesn't always have to be discount. So discount works very well. So we've got another jewelry brand, and when they put like a 10% discount on, whenever the month is slow, she just runs a 10% discount offer, and it picks up for that. That's just, and I mean, 10% is not a lot. So it's just that thing that if you had to choose between two things, this looks like a deal. So it has to look like a deal. It doesn't necessarily have to bite you in your, like cost you money. It just has to look like a kind of a deal. Okay. So
100%.
I want to get back to Black Friday. So Michelle is saying, oh, it's so exciting. I love this time of year. Michelle is saying, one of my clients did really well running ads for Black Friday last year. We are wanting to collaborate this year and also combine our Black Friday deal with a giveaway and running ads. The wine industry is really competitive, but would love your thoughts.
Yeah, so I mean, it depends on how she's defining a giveaway. When you say if you're defining a giveaway by giving extra stuff along with the purchase, great. If you're defining a giveaway as we're going to do a competition alongside the actual discount or promotion, I would not advise that. I'm not. I don't like doing giveaways or competitions in Black Friday months. It just confuses people. A lot of people also hold back. They go, "Ooh, let me see if I won before I buy," and I think it just actually contaminates the whole psychological component of people have money that they're willing to spend. All you have to do is just give them good value, and they will spend that money with you. It is a year where it's the time of the year where the conversion rates online are just the highest, and I think you need to play to that strength when it comes to the market. So if it is like she says now, it's along with the purchase, then great. If you can't discount the wine because the margins on wine, depending if they are the actual manufacturer or reseller of it, most people are just resellers on these wines. The margins are very thin, so you're gonna have to get creative with what you give away with it. Or can you afford to give away a case of wine with wine glasses? I don't know. I'll be interested, maybe some chocolates, maybe a free hamper, maybe stuff like that can why would people be buying wine? So she's saying there will be a discount. Now it's just a question of understanding the business and its resources. Is it a business that can give maybe if you buy two of these cases, we're going to give you some of this for free, an extra bottle of this or not a bottle of that, or maybe a bottle of champagne. Or so I would be keen to understand what you're going to add on to the actual promotion, and then we can consult on that a little bit better, because it all depends, on the resources of obviously, the business that's selling the wine.
Yeah. So Michelle, maybe just write what your idea is. One thing I just want to add as well is you said okay, so they did very well last year with running the ad. So here's a very important thing. So we have to understand why they did well. and try and not change the formula. It doesn't mean it's going to do well again, but maybe it was a very simple offer. So if you can try and figure out why did they do well? Was it perhaps very understandable? Like Jandre is saying, people are so confused. Like there's just so much happening. And if it's too difficult for them to figure this out, then it's gonna fall flat. So go and see if last year's Black Friday deal was very simple. It was a good deal, but it was also simple. And then try and keep it on that formula in the sense of we're going to keep it simple, but we're still going to give a good gift. So maybe you can just elaborate on what your plans are, and then yeah, then Jandre, you can give your opinion on that as well. If you're
Yeah,
watching, guys,
100%.
I'm sorry. Please comment. Please say hi. I see EcoStone Decor. Hello, she is watching from Bloemfontein. How are you doing? And please go and say hi in the comments and ask your questions. We're talking about getting sales for Q4, the excitement of summer, how to get ready to make your sales. So here is Michelle's answer. Okay, cool. Thanks. Still figuring out, but the idea is to give away a field bar. Oh my word, liking that. And
What
possibly
is a field
something.
bar? I'm not very clued up in the wine space.
It's those cool little you'll know when you see it. Let me get a picture for you. It's that cool little that yeah, it's very cool. Um
Oh, okay.
Possibly, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You've seen it. It's sort of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this
The
antique
a
cooler.
cooler. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's very
It's
cool.
a, it's a South
Yeah,
African
100%. I would
company.
definitely go with that. So I think
Yeah.
if you can give that away along with the purchase, depending on how much people need to spend, that'll be great. I would just make sure that you say up to get a free field bar to the value of. Because now remember, it's like a lot of people make the mistake of saying, "Hey, buy this case of wine for X and then get a free field bar." But we assume that people know exactly what that field bar is
Mm,
worth, and you get
yeah.
numerous different types of field bars. So the best thing you can do from a creative element is just to say, you get this and it's worth up to this much. That because
Mm.
that's going to play in people's minds in terms of an objective value that they're going to get when they actually spend that money. So it's a bit more tangible rather than subjective.
So I'm thinking they want to run a competition to give away one field bar. You can tell me if I'm wrong, Michelle, because a field bar costs like 1,000, 2,000 rand. So I'm thinking her idea was to run a competition and the Black
Mm.
Friday deal. What about this, Jandre? What about they launch the competition before Black Friday, say in the beginning of September, November, so that they can get that interest in their brand. You
Yeah, the
know,
thing is, it's like I don't think people are going to jump at the opportunity to buy something at full price if they can stand a chance to win something. I don't think that's that exciting for a Black Friday in itself, to
yeah.
be honest with you. Just to be very candid and frank, but I do think if you run that for the whole month, you can actually get some value out of it. And I think the thing about a competition, right? You want to build up a database for yourself. That's the most valuable element of a competition and a giveaway, is that you're actually building up a database of people who would be interested in purchasing from you in the future. And you can say, hey, buy this at this price and stand a chance to win. That's really cool. I don't know if running it over the Black Friday weekend and itself is going to be
Mm,
so impactful, because if you've got no other ideas, and I think it's obviously the best idea that you've got, then great, run with it. But I would almost see that as something that you can do through the whole month.
mm,
You can, then you're going to squeeze more juice out of it. You're going to collect hopefully more data. You are going to see a big spike across the board. I don't know if you're going to double the business's growth in those 4 days. And that's what a lot of people do. Like we've seen that a company that does, for example, 1 million in revenue on Black Friday alone, they will do and when I say a revenue, I mean a monthly revenue. On Black Friday alone, they will do a month's revenue. So what I'm trying to say is, like, I don't know if it's really going to double your revenue in those 4 days. It's just not something that's that exciting when bigger brands might be doing more attractive deals. I would rather maybe extend the period of the competition for the whole month and then maybe on Black Friday, just try and do something from a discount perspective if possible. And if they can't, just make sure that you shout that louder than you did before during the rest of the month. I think that's how I would play it, and then see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. And if you run the competition before, then you get that interest, you get people to your page, they get to know you. You know, you can maybe
Can they not do free delivery or something like what we've seen? People hate paying for delivery fees. It's such a grudge purchase. So I'm wondering if it really is. It's like paying for life insurance, right? It's like nobody wants to do it, and investing in an RA, like nobody wants to do it. But I think a free. If you said, I know wine can obviously be quite expensive to ship because it's quite heavy, so that becomes tricky. But if you could play around with a free shipping or discount on shipping or something like that, that can also help, because people just hate it. We see the moment we do free delivery on something, yeah, sales definitely increase.
yeah, Karina is saying I'm a sucker for free delivery.
Yeah,
And
she's
what's
saying that
interesting,
wine delivery is expensive, obviously.
yeah.
So yeah, and this is where you can play around with margins. So I consulted on a few companies and even our own businesses. Like, we make up our profit elsewhere, and then we take a loss on shipping, but we make the profit up elsewhere. Because it's manipulating the back end of your business, the finances of the business, to give people what they want whilst remaining profitable. And I think that's what most business owners struggle with. They can't think outside the box on how to keep the business profitable whilst giving people what they want. I think that's what Amazon is so good at. Like, Jeff Bezos was so good at that. It's like, how can we give people what they want and still build a business that becomes more valuable? Look, he had millions in investments, and for a long time he didn't make a profit, but he always thought, how do we give people what they want? And I think that's the one element I think 99% of business owners miss, is that creativity, just because they don't have all the puzzle pieces that they, on the table, because they're ignorant and they don't know, and you only know what you know. But it's really going, how can we structure things differently in the back end of the business in order to give people what they want and still remain profitable?
And an example of that would be, I'm going to give you time to explain, to give an example. I just want to quickly say, hello, Minnie. Lovely to have you here. So Minnie is saying from Minnie's Boutique, hello from Postmasburg. So hello, Minnie. It's always nice to have you here. Are you planning anything for Black Friday? And then, yeah, Karina is saying 99% of the time I purchase for free delivery. I just quickly want to say something on this. Sometimes you give free delivery. It's part of your deal, but you don't say it. That's also something. If there's something of value, and this is especially for instance, coming back to the offer. An offer could be as simple as free delivery. Maybe you already give free delivery, but you never thought of it. So putting it there makes this, deal
Huge difference.
attractive.
No, it makes a huge
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah.
100%.
So just quickly, an example of what you were saying, how to make the back end work better. So what comes to mind would be, for instance, especially with e-commerce, but I'm going to give over to you because you're obviously the expert. But what comes to mind is something like, okay, they're buying this. How can we prompt them to add something extra to their cart by, for instance, suggesting something? And that is optimizing your online store. So maybe you can just say something about, what exactly do you mean? How can I optimize the back end so that I still make a profit and give people what they want?
Yeah, look, I don't like the word expert. I feel I'm just maybe a bit more experienced.
You are.
No, like, expert is such a I
Okay,
just,
sorry. It's just my
there's
lack
two
of
words.
English.
There's two words I don't like: expert and boss. But
Okay,
like
it's my lack of English vocabulary. So give me a better word then to use.
you're
Knowledgeable.
just a bit more experienced. That's what you can say. But long story short is, I think
Okay.
from my perspective, it's looking at, how we can still offer. We know people want free delivery, right? So let's use that example. What we've done is we've installed something called Fast Track. Fast Track allows us to sell a VIP fulfillment service at 49 Rand extra. And we have seen that a lot of people like free delivery because they don't have to pay money on a grudge purchase. It's not a pain for them. because that's a paying purchase. But fast track is something that they want, and they have the option to pay for it. So the psychological connection there is that people have a choice to ship their product faster and get it earlier and sooner, and therefore they would rather not pay for shipping, but they would then spend extra money on fast track because they want it sooner, and that's
What,
optional.
what
So the
is
thing
act-
is like
just explain exactly what is fast track.
fast track is just something that we've come up with. It's just there's no
Okay.
real name for it. There's no real definition of it.
Yeah.
It's just a way. A partner of mine, Jason is his name. We literally sat and said, how can we improve our margins, and how can we offer people what they want? And that was one of the conclusions that we came up with. And all it is on the checkout we say, hey, do you want your product to be fulfilled sooner, like
Yeah.
immediately, like VIP,
Yeah.
like VIP fulfillment, which means that if we have 100 orders that day, then your order is going to take priority.
Okay.
So that's basically all it is. And long story short, we've seen that people pay 49 Rand for that because it's optional, and it releases dopamine because now you feel like you're going to get the product faster, where shipping in itself is a grudge purchase, which releases cortisol. It's like, I don't want to pay for that. Like, why do I have to? Like, this sucks.
Okay.
So it's a psychological element of taking away the pain purchase, but giving people the fun purchase. And then you're just offsetting the costs for yourself in order to still keep it profitable. And
That's
that's
so
just one
clever.
example. I don't want to release all the trade secrets, but that's just one example.
That's a very good one. So Karina is saying we can say you're a pro. Can we say you're a pro, Jandre? Are we allowed
You
to?
guys can call me what you want. I don't care about labels. I just expressed my preference, and you can call me what you want.
Okay. I'm just joking with you. So Minnie is saying, I have free offers. Buy one, get one, free delivery, or buy mother of the bride outfit and get free gift. Okay, so that is I presume for Black Friday. So Minnie makes mother of the bride clothes. And yeah, I asked her what her offers are. So it's buy one, get one free. Oh, buy one and get free delivery, or buy mother of the bride outfit and get
Mm.
free gift. Let's see what Karina is saying. I
So
also have to add some websites also states that one product or get to 500 and get 5% off your or something like that. Okay.
yeah, that's just a normal bundle discount, right? The more you buy, the less you pay, or the more discount you get. But I think getting back to Mini, like I think what's interesting is that if you say you're a wedding dress designer, then nobody really knows what it's going to cost until you've actually measured what you needed to measure, and have heard what you needed to hear from the person who is obviously getting married and what their preferences are in terms of the dress. So what's
So that's
interesting is
sorry.
that
I think you're talking about. Are you talking about Sanet?
Mini.
Because yeah,
Oh, is a mini? So I said mother of the bride gift. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm talking about Sanet. Sorry. So I'm
yeah.
talking about Sanet's situation here. I saw the question and she said, I design wedding dresses. So what's nice is that if you design them right, nobody knows what it's going to cost until you've obviously asked all the questions that you needed to ask. So you can say, hey, get 30% off on wedding dresses, hypothetically, and it will look like an amazing offer. So you're going to get all these quotes and people who want to speak to you. And at the end of the day, you just say, well, I normally this was a 10 grand dress, and I'm going to be giving it for 7, because your price is completely arbitrary. It's up to you. You setting the price. They have no idea on how you're putting the price together, because it's something that has to happen after you had the conversation. So when you are selling a wedding dress online with a set price, that becomes very difficult to do, because you have to show the actual price, and then you have to actually show the discount. But when you are a designer, you have the luxury of having the conversation first and then giving them a price. And you also explaining that price to them, which means that you can hypothetically, in a hypothetical world, you can create additional value from a perceived value and say, listen, this wedding dress I would normally design for 10, but I'm going to give it for you to 7. That is your 30% off. So in essence, you wouldn't lose any money. You just add a little bit more, but obviously, it depends on, I'm not saying you have to be unethical about it, but you can just say, hey, you got your 20% off, because normally I would charge this much, but I'm charging now this much. And you can obviously just bump up that price a little bit, without having to take too much of a loss. But the point is that now when you say get 20% off on your wedding dress, more people are going to inquire in order to get quotes from you, or might start conversations with you. And that's really all you want. And that's the nice thing about being a designer, or like even an interior designer. You can say, get 30% off your first quote. But the thing is, you first have to get the quote. You first have to speak to that person. You first have to get their contact details, their email, their contact number. And after the conversation, you can just say, hey, normally we would do it for this price. I'm going to give you 20% off as per agreed on that price. And somewhere along the line, you can make up that, ethically, you can make up that extra 20%. So I think from my perspective, that could be a cool way to do it. Another thing is, you can say, get your wedding dress designed and I can give you something else for free. Let me design your wedding dress and you can get this for free. Maybe this is where connections help a lot, because if you have, if you were, for example, a wedding venue, I think this is what wedding venues do so well, is that they might not give you a discount on the wedding venue, but they might give you referrals. And because of those referrals, they can give you discounts on the people in their network. So you come to the wedding venue and they go ask, hey, do you have someone who's going to do your catering? No. Oh, well, speak to this company. We can offer you 10% off on that. Have you got a wedding dress yet? Oh, no, so go speak to that lady and we can maybe organize you 10% off on that. So I think what I've realized is that in that specific industry, your connections in itself, when you can leverage your connections in order to pay the discount on your behalf, to pay that offer on your behalf, and you don't have to take that out of your own pocket, essentially. So people come to you because of the fact that you can get them more affordable prices and all these things. But I think that's just a perspective on the wedding dress side. Minnie said Black Friday offers buy one get one free shipping, buy outfit and get free gift. Minnie, that's perfect. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Hate doing that 30% off example, but it works like a charm. Clients are also not on board with it here in Polokwane. They say you are cheating, but for services. No, I think you can just be transparent with them from up front. You can just say, normally I charge 10 for X. And that's normally what the quote's going to be. So you can set the expectation. The quicker you set the expectation, the less they're going to think that you lie. So, the perspective of they thinking that you're being unethical is because you maybe you weren't very candid or assertive about what you actually charge and how it's going to look on paper. So the moment they come through the door and they go, hey, what do you normally? I normally charge 10, but that you normally maybe the average dress gets to 8 or 9. So there are ways to do it ethically. It's just, again, using your own imagination on how to make that happen.
Yeah, I think a way to think about it to make it better is, say, for instance, you ask someone for a quote. So, say for instance, you want a comedian to come to your party and do a show, and you're going to ask them for a quote. They are going to ask you what is the what is the occasion. Now they quote according to the size of the business. For instance, if they know it's a corporate, they are going to quote much higher. If they know it's a person or an individual, they've got a different quote. It's and that's fine, because you want and who did I speak to the other day as well? Oh, it was a designer. It was actually a designer, and this is what he said. If I design for big corporates, because they work with big corporates, this is so he said, because we spoke about a design like a for a brand, for a business, and he said, well, obviously I charge according to the business size. So if you are a single business, solopreneur almost, I'm not going to charge you corporate rates. It's the same job. So thinking about that, it's not unethical to do that. It's just according to, this is just how business works, I think. So you can definitely do something about that, especially if it's a service,
Yeah.
because
Look, a corporate job also is going to require maybe a little bit, there's a bit more T's and C's. There's a bit more, you have to put more mental bandwidth into the conversation. There's a more mental bandwidth that goes into structuring the agreement, the quotes, and all that kind of stuff. And I think those are all things that people can charge extra for. It's like a lawyer. Like at the moment, a lawyer does if he does a contract for a 500,000 Rand deal or a 10 billion Rand deal, like which one do you think he's going to quote more on? You know what I'm saying? So it's a matter of which one is going to take more of your own intellectual mind property, the value, that's the IP that's sitting in your mind, all the experience that you've built up, and at the same time, how much mental bandwidth are you going to have to leverage in order to finalize that product in a way that they would be happy with. And I think that's what I'm saying. Like, your quote is ultimately can be ethically done, and it's just up to your imagination on how you articulate that back to the client so that they feel that you're not robbing them. And that's also what I'm saying. Like, you can't be like, oh, normally my wedding dresses are 20 grand, and then make it 10 when you know your wedding dresses are normally 10. Like, that's obviously unethical.
Mm.
But I think you can play around with it so that it logically makes sense to them and that it's actually ethical as well.
Yeah. So okay. So I just want to get back. So we started off saying that it is Q4 is around the corner, and the most sales are made, especially online, in Q4. And Jandre mentioned something that was quite interesting, saying that every year it's the same, and every year business owners don't listen.
Yeah,
So
it's literally a week before. Just to touch on that, it's like everybody ignores the signs. They just ignore all of the signs. It's like driving, and then they just ignore the sign or ignore the sign, and then they go, "Oh, we missed the turnoff." And I think it's like on lastminute.com, like literally 2-3 days before, they went like, we need a Black Friday deal. Everybody's doing a Black Friday deal. And it's like, yo, look, you had 2 or 3 months to prepare for this at the end of the day. And you kind of like fell asleep at the wheel.
but then also about the fact that just overall starting now already to maybe update your socials, your website with something. It's spring. You can have a spring special now, a spring offer or something like that, and just be with where people are at. Like I'm so excited that it is summer, and if there's other business that's like, yay, it's summer, it
I
sort
mean,
of
just to give you an example, we own a 50% of a cleaning company, and they do remote cleaning, so they come out to the house and do your carpets and upholstery and mattresses and whatnot. And this month we already on double what we did in winter, on an average per month.
wow.
So I mean, but it's like you do a spring clean sale, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a spring clean offer, and
Mm.
on average, I think on average we did about 35K a week for that business. So it's not a huge business. Obviously, it's just a small team still. It's like 8 months old. But this we've literally doubled the weekly
Wow.
quotes and revenue
Mm.
coming in just because of the time of the year. But if we didn't put out that message, if we didn't say to people, hey, here's a spring cleaning offer in parallel to the actual shift in the season and people's psychological behavior around this time of the year, if we didn't do that, connect those dots, then we most likely would still be doing the same revenue as last month. So it's really taking the psychological behavior of this time of year and contextualizing it to your business from a marketing standpoint. And Magriet's gone.
I'm still here.
This is now the JDB show.
Sorry, I just quickly. My parents just landed at the airport, and my dad just sent me a voice note. I just quickly, yeah, because I think he's wanting the address or something. So
Okay, man.
keep telling them what they can do. And guys, ask your questions. I see this one. I just quickly want to listen to this.
No, it's cool. It's cool. Let me see quickly. Yeah. This is Renee Westhuizen from Cape Town. Any ideas for handcraft workshops, mosaic, painting, decoupage? Not running ads yet to do budget, but posting on Facebook groups, struggling to get attendees. Got slots on. Look, I think if you're not going to put money behind it, it's going to be tough. Then you're going to have to go the organic way, which is literally just posting in Facebook groups and hope for the best. It's going to be so hard. Like, you do need a little bit of money in order to get in front of more people, in my opinion. But I think, if you, a long-term strategy would be, if you don't have a lot of money, is to start creating content around these workshops, record the actual workshop, have someone on the day, or maybe a family member or a friend literally come on the day and literally take their phone and record as much content as possible of what's happening in these workshops. Take before and after photos, take before and after videos. Maybe even do what do you call it, like a time lapse of how you actually doing a painting, that kind of stuff. Like, people love time lapsed content. So this is where you need to get creative. If you can't pay for your marketing, you're going to have to get so creative with your organic strategy. And it's not that your organic strategy won't drive results, but you're going to have to put so much more effort into it. You're going to have to be so much more creative with it. And there's usually two sayings. This is a saying that I've learned from a billionaire, not the one that you think it is, Megan.
Is it from you? Is it your own saying?
No. But it was
I knew the billionaire.
no, but it said, like, if you don't have money, hopefully you have time, and if you don't have time, hopefully you have money. So it's essentially like those two things. Like, and this is kind of like how marketing your business is. If you don't have money for paid ads, then if you don't have money, hopefully you've got a bit more time than the average person. Because what are you doing that's generating no money? Like, obviously what you're doing is not making an impact. So you can probably cut a lot of those things and hopefully do something more impactful to start making money. So in your case, I hope that's the case for you, Renee. Is like, if you don't have money, hopefully you've got a bit more time. Now you have to use that little bit of extra time to think creatively about how to go about an organic marketing strategy. And I think for a workshop, it's great. There's so much content lying on the back end of that workshop, and I'm afraid that's where you are the pro and the expert and all of those things with. But I think in essence, it's hopefully when you do get a little bit of money, is strategically spending that money on Facebook and Meta, maybe even TikTok. Literally, my wife just signed up for a painting workshop, and it was an ad that she saw on her newsfeed. We were lying in bed. It was on Meta on Facebook. But the point I'm saying, like, we were lying, and she was like, "Oh, this looks really cool," and it's a painting workshop and teaches you how to paint. And she used to be a painter back in the day when she was younger. And she was just like, she clicked on it, went to a landing page, and she paid. It was like, it wasn't cheap, and it worked. So I do believe in my heart that paid ads is the way to go in order to scale this more predictably. But if you don't have money, hopefully you've got time, and if you need to use that time to creatively come up with an organic strategy. You can't just be posting one post a week in a group hoping for the best. That's just not enough.
So on the organic content side, when you are in the crafts, you have a massive advantage. So what I want you to do is, if you can't spend the money, then you hopefully have the time, is to, number one, go and do research, especially on TikTok. Go and follow all the arty, crafty, there's something, that 5-minute craft, all those accounts, and go and see why their reels go viral. If you're in the craft space, you have the advantage of you are creating from scratch. People love watching something, a process. People love things like paint that you squeeze or things like that. I actually did a workshop for all my artists in the social media business school where I showed them, just mixing two colors of art, two colors of paint, and mixing, or the brush. You can create amazing reels that can go viral. So when you get your groove with the organic side, so what you need to do is go and follow as many craft big accounts that gets lots of views, and then go and analyze why do they get lots of views. Because maybe they've got an entire process in 7 minutes from start to finish, or maybe it's something that's turning, or it's keeping the attention. There's sort of the satisfaction that we get from watching stuff, and start making those. Then back to the ads. You can run, because you got spot at P&A. It's already a well-known brand. It's an established brand. It's in an area. You can run around that area for as little as 20 Rand a day. You run an ad, and if you do it correctly, it's going to bring in money for you, because that's really a low budget. And you can stop after you've spent 100 Rand and it brought in 0 leads. You can stop. But then what you can also do is, you can get those people. You can ask people, do you want to join this group where I share occasional workshops or whatever, so that they get updates. And then another thing you can do is, once someone book, go and WhatsApp them and say, I'm so excited to see you. Don't you want to bring a friend? Give them that suggestion, because maybe they're thinking, oh yeah, let me actually bring my friend, So give them the option of bringing someone. Maybe they didn't think about it. Why don't you ask your mom or your sister or whatever? So it's, once again, like you said earlier, it's getting creative around these things, thinking outside of the box, and not getting stuck in, I'm not getting customers, because that's such a bad place to be. And we all are there from time to time, and we all have been there. It is about You know what I always tell myself when I have something to fall, like an event, which I had to do many times, and I start to get like people are not booking, it's not going to plan, and then you start to go down this rabbit hole in your head of negative thoughts, then I make a decision. I am going to do what in anything to get this event sold out. Like I'm just literally going to do like I tell myself. And then I would start contacting people. I would start because posting in a group is a safe thing for you to do because you just post in a group. So go out of your comfort zone, contact people, go to like it's getting a little bit out of your comfort zone and then it becomes so much easier. So just do stuff. Go to your phone book, look at all the contacts, ask them. Go to maybe there's in your area a shop that sells craft. Say, can I maybe do a deal with you and you refer people? Or there are many things like you already know what the answers are if you're going to start thinking about it. If you're in the negative space of your mind, you can't get to the answers. But if you tell yourself, oh, the answers, people like doing stuff like that. But you have to be the one that puts on the momentum. You have to be the one. If someone showed interest, have you followed up with them? Things like that. But yeah, that just okay, have time. Do follow many others, please. Magriet, help with ads. Are you in my social media business school? Because then we can definitely do a call because the ads that we are doing, the WhatsApp ads, and I'm so excited about that because a lot of people don't have websites and things like that. Or email and that, then running ads to WhatsApp is a great way.
Mm.
So I can truly say that paid ads works the best. Mini is so impressive. Okay, so if you are, just send us a mail, then we look at it. We actually have our ads call now at 11 o'clock. So Mini is so impressive, Jandre. So she does Mother of the Bride, and she does reels, and it's amazing. I'm always so impressed. And now she's saying paid ads works. Like, yo, I didn't even know you were running ads, Mini. You must share a little bit. So she's one of those people that she just does stuff. Like she's not, I think Minnie is a little bit older than me, but she's not scared of technology. She's not scared of real. She's not one of those people that say, oh, I was born before technology. And I'm always so inspired by how she approaches her social media. So she does amazing reels, and Minnie as well. She follows many creators, many real creators to get ideas, to say, this is ideas, redo that. Yeah. So I see our time is up. Yeah, this was great.
Crazy.
Maybe just do a short recap, Jandre, and then guys, if you've got some last questions, go and post them. Thank you for joining. It was so much fun. I can't believe an hour went past so fast.
Can't believe we've it's taken us like a month and a half to get back to doing it.
I know, but it's summer, so anything's possible when it's summer.
No, awesome, man. Like I think, I think it to conclude, just don't sleep on Q4. Just actively start looking for ways in order to, get sales in. That starts with Google, starts with ChatGPT, starts with Magriet's, social media school, and it's really just putting yourself out there, knowing that this is the time to capitalize. And then it's a matter of looking at what resources you have, what products you're selling, what margins you have in order to creatively come up with offers that people want. And I think that's really the gist of it. That's the oversimplified version of it. Now we can get into the technical stuff, maybe at a later stage, but the reality is that's really it. Just look for creative ways to put it out and see what happens, and then put it out again and see what happens, and test and iterate and improve and just keep doing that until something at some point will work for you. That's for sure.
So guys, like I always say at the end of our sessions, especially in the social media business school, please leave a comment. What struck you? What did you learn? What was your aha moment? What made the little light bulb go on here? At what point? Just leave something there, even if it's after the live. We're gonna look at it. Just go over to the comments and say, this is something that struck me. This is what I'm going to do. It's always so nice to get your feedback. And thank you for joining. And have a fantastic weekend. Like I said, I am on my way to Nampo. So we're going to Nampo in Bredasdorp. So we are excited. That's what we're doing this this weekend. Yeah. Thanks so much for your
Okay.
time, Jandre. Always a pleasure chatting to you and getting some tips on how to make more sales. Bye,
Cheers, guys.
guys.
Love.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.